Okay, the recording is starting.
Okay, hi everybody, I'm Zach Nowak. I'm the director of the Umbra Institute in Perugia, Italy. And I'm also one of the people who helped found the program in food sustainability and the environment at the Umbra Institute. I'm just going to be quiet for a second and give you a chance to read through these two lists of classes.
Actually, Zach, I'm seeing a black square in the middle of the slide.
Oh, right, the meeting's being recorded. Okay, sorry about that. Yep, that was just a note to me. And I guess I actually don't have to give a minute just because people can pause the recording if they want to. So I will go on. I do want to let you know that if you go to umbra.org/food, you can go to the program page, and you can also feel free to email me at znowak@umbra.org at the bottom of your screen. I'm happy to jump on Zoom or correspond over email about this as well. So first, where is Perugia? It's about halfway between Rome and Florence. It's the capital of Umbria, the green heart of Italy, and it's up on a hill. And I'm just going to take a minute and show you two of the best panoramas, although there are also other panoramas. Our urban garden, our new urban garden, is actually right below this panorama, right to the right. It's another panorama from the top of the city, looking down towards the new part of the city. You can also see Monte Subasio in the background on the left. It's a nearby mountain, and on the side of that, the city on the side is actually Assisi. Perugia was an Etruscan city before it was a Roman, and so it has this really cool, beautiful wall all the way around it. And a lot of medieval architecture inside of the city. There's the three patron saints of Perugia guarding the door to the city hall. San Costanzo, Sant'Ercolano, and San Lorenzo. And this is a shot looking down the main street of Perugia, all pedestrian. You have this beautiful 13th century fountain here and the 13th century town hall in the background with the symbol of the city, the griffin, up on the upper left there. Perugia is, I would say, a big college town in a medium-sized Italian city. So these are the steps off to the right here, the steps of the cathedral, looking out over this beautiful piazza. This is Perugia's sun-drenched outdoor living room. The city is about 165,000 people, super well connected by rail. It's 2 hours to Florence, 3 hours to Rome on the slow trains, a little bit less on fast trains, but it's also a college town. The University of Perugia has about 25,000 students, and there are about 5,000 other foreign students, international students studying in Perugia as well. So it's very much a student environment, very much an international environment. We're the only American study abroad program in Perugia. There won't be too many other Americans hanging around, although tourists, obviously. This is where we have our main headquarters. It's right behind the apse of the cathedral, which is what you can see in the upper left there. Have this beautiful courtyard. And some of your classrooms are here, but this is actually another one. This is our brand new, brand new to us, urban garden. It's about 4 minutes from the main piazza. It's right in the center of the city, which makes it really exciting. I like to think of it as a classroom number 6. It's a place that a number of our classes in the program in food sustainability and the environment have projects in. There's some community engagement projects with local schools, with some older residents of the neighborhood. We have a new project plan with immigrants, with students from the University of Perugia who are landscape management experts to catch some water and channel it into a cistern, etc. When you do the program in food sustainability and the environment, you go to places like this, but also another classroom is places we go for our co-curricular field trips. So these are all fun, but the idea is not just to go to some place that's really beautiful like this, obviously, it's up in the hills in the Apennines, but also a place where you can integrate what you learn in the classroom with these real life Italian immersive experiences. So when you do this awesome truffle hunt and go with dogs through the forest and find truffles, we'll talk about truffles and Italian cuisine, but also about property laws and climate change. Truffles are considered un dono di natura, a gift of nature, and you can't ban people from from coming onto your land. There's no trespassing when people are looking for truffles. And so it's just a quirk of Italian property law. And it's a remnant of the Italian approach to foraging for poor people in common areas. This guy where we go is also the head of the farmers in the Farmers Association in Umbria. He used to be the head of the Young Farmers of Europe. He did policy in Brussels for the European Union, and has a collaboration with the University of Perugia to assess the effect of climate change on his truffles in his woods. This is the Parmesan cheese factory just outside Parma. It's a cooperative of dairy farmers. We also do a number of trips that are outside of Umbria. This is one of them, sort of a really important trip up to Parma and Modena to see prosciutto and Parmesan cheese and balsamic vinegar from Modena made. And we sort of dig into these typical foods. Italians often talk about these foods as if they had never changed and as if their culinary traditions were static. But in fact, you're going to learn that the only reason that these foods are still around is because they have changed over the centuries. And also the fact that Italian cuisine is incredibly dynamic. We're really interested in classes that count. And I mean this both in the literal and the metaphorical sense. Classes that count for credit, that'll transfer back to your college. In fact, if you're an environmental studies student at Wellesley, all the courses in the program in food, sustainability, and the environment will transfer back for major credit, but also classes that count in the sense that they make a difference. This program asks questions about both Italian environmental management and the Italian food production system that we think are applicable, not just in Italy, but all over the place. There's definitely a historical component to the food sustainability and environment program, partially because I'm a historian and I helped found it, but also because we think that historical knowledge is really important for the future. If you look at this as an American, this landscape, you probably think that you could back project this landscape of olive orchards on the left and grapevines on the right into the past, into the deep past, 500 years. But in fact, this is a completely novel landscape for Italy. Up until the 1960s, Italians had polycultures. They had mixes of trees. They had grapevines growing up trees, not on high tensile steel wire. They didn't have that. And they had grain growing in between. So you had these really cool polycultures of often perennials, but also some annuals. We want to teach you to look at landscapes and not just see the present, but be able to see the traces of the past and also think about the future. An important part about this program is planting some career seeds too, if you'll pardon the pun. We want you to have skills and connections that'll be useful for your future career if you're interested in something that's in the food sustainability and environmental sector in some way. Students in the past have published with our professors and have done internships and gotten jobs at places like Italy too. In addition to these co-curricular workshops, in addition to the co-curricular field trips, there's a series of co-curricular workshops and for people in the food studies track, some cooking lessons to get them ready for their final sort of Iron Chef challenge, which is more about them creating a menu that's sustainable than just cooking great food. There's a number of co-curricular workshops in bread and cheese, aperitivo, beer and wine. The only one we couldn't do this semester with COVID, in fact, the only thing that we haven't done is the pizza workshop. We just couldn't figure out a way to do the pizza workshop safely. But everything else we've done with no problem. These workshops both give you an idea of the cultural context of these foods and beverages. So Italians don't drink cappuccino after 11 a.m. It's very much a morning drink, for example. We'll talk about biochemistry as well. And of course, historical connections. What is the political significance of the pizza margherita? Does it actually have anything to do with the queen whose name was Margherita? Talk about that too. A quick note about housing. We have apartments all over the center of Perugia. It's a super walkable city. None of the apartments are more than 15 minutes away from the main piazza. where the Institute is. The apartments are all different. Some of them are in buildings that were built in the 1600s. They're all modern, as you can see here, but they have their quirks. It's not like living in a dorm. You're going to have Italian neighbors as well, but you'll also have beautiful Italian vistas in some cases too. And you'll live in the heart of a medieval city, which is pretty awesome. Quick note about health and safety. COVID, of course, has been a challenge for all of us. We're really excited that this semester we're in week 5. And because we have very specific, strict protocols for the environments and for our classrooms and for all of our field trips, we haven't had any problems at all yet, which is fabulous. Students have been able to do absolutely everything they were able to do before COVID, except for the pizza workshop. It's the only thing we can't do this semester and probably not next semester, but we'll come back to that soon. So if you come in one of the upcoming semesters, this is probably what you're going to do. If you do the complete program, including the 100 level course, the core course, we'll go to truffle hunting and have some discussion of climate change. This weekend trip to Parma and Modena. There's service learning and volunteer projects in our new community garden, and then a series of workshops. Might be a little bit different from this, depending on what we can do. Your classes, each of the classes you take will also almost all have a co-curricular workshop. So the sustainable food production in Italy class goes to see Dario Cecchini, a chef who's been on a number of different shows, the sort of mad butcher of Panzano and Chianti. So you'll have co-curricular field trips embedded into each class as well, but these are the ones that everybody does. This is the current list of classes that we offer. We do have these 2 different tracks. You can also do a dual track where you do a couple classes from each. If you're interested, talk to the study abroad office, obviously, at Wellesley. And feel free, if you want to drop me an email. I'm always happy to get on either WhatsApp or Zoom or Skype or whatever you use, and we can chat about how this could fit into your academic program. And above and beyond studying at the Umbra Institute, you should definitely check out Perugia at some point in your life. It's a fabulous city. You can become a temporary citizen, in a manner of speaking. It's a great place to visit. Thank you.
Thanks, Zach.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks a million, Jennifer. Appreciate it. Let me know if anybody wants to chat.